Problem with this is when you get up, you get super nervous. Like you're not the same person when you're on stage. And so there was this guy I used to work with, right? He's like the funniest dude I ever met. And I'm like, that guy could do stand-up. He could be like Eddie Murphy or something. If you can get him up, he can make millions. And then we got him on stage one night, and he got up, and I thought he was going to crush, and he looked at the people, and he just like passed out. Like he fell onto and then he rolled down like 2 stairs in front of 300 people. Like, that's a bad set. And they had to like give him oxygen and stuff and put him in the hospital. And then the guy who owned the comedy club was like, where'd that one guy go? That heart attack skit, dude. He was hilarious. He might be dead, maybe. And he was my boss. So on Monday, he fired me. So it's a tough life, isn't it? I found something out recently, very recently. My teacher, my grade 3 teacher just passed away. Yeah. And the thing is, that was my first crush in life, was my grade 3 teacher. Oh my God, I had such a thing for her. And I told my uncle, I'm like, I want to marry her. I want to love her. Like, what can I do? And he goes, just grab her ass. He drank a lot, real troublemaker. And so I did in school, and I saw it on Dukes of Hazzard too. And I'm like, maybe that is the right thing. So I grabbed her bum, and she, of course, got upset, and she sent me to the principal's office, right? And this is how different life was, like, 30 years back. The principal sits me down and says, Corey, what you did, that's unacceptable, okay? She's married. That's the kind of thing you do with girls your age. But I'm her boss, so I can do it. But not you. And then he said to me, he goes, but you know what, young man? I get it. And then he high-fived me. Right? And he had like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader calendar, like in his office. Like that's how different things were 30, 40 years ago, right? That dude'd be gone now. And then like a couple summers later, I worked on the oil rigs, maybe 6, 7 years later. And there was a girl's outhouse and a guy's outhouse. And someone drilled a hole into the girl's outhouse and would watch these women doing their business. And the guy who did it was the head of HR. They caught him, and they were so mad. Like one of the women was going to sue Chevron because of this sexual harassment. And the CEO of Chevron had to come, and he's screaming at the guy, "What the hell is wrong with you? We don't own those porta potties. Those things are leased. Now we got to fix them." So what I'm saying is things are getting better for you, ladies. It's slow, but it's getting there. I don't know. Yeah. It's funny when you look back on your life, right? And it's like the things you learned, the things you didn't know when you were little. This is a story. I don't want to be too nasty. Well, you were talking about horse cock earlier, so I'm not too worried about going over the line. It's easier now. It's okay. I remember the first. Do you remember the first time you ever had oral sex, sir? So don't answer that. It could be trouble later. I mean, we don't need that over a comedy show. A whole marriage going down the tube. I remember the first time it ever happened. I was 14. And the girl I was with was 14. We were tender and young, and we didn't know. And we were at a party. And she says, we went into the garage of this house party. And she goes, "Do you want me to give you a blowjob?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then she undid my pants, and she went down, and she went. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." Keep going. And I'm like, "Oh, it feels just like my mom's hairdryer." And so it happened for a little bit. But then after like a few minutes, she's like all woozy and tired, right? And And it's not really feeling that much better for me. And she like eventually kind of like fell and like hit her head on a skateboard. And I just went, and I kept going. And then I was like, hey, you know what? It's not that good. And we quit and we stopped and I took her home. And then I called my older cousin. He's 16 and he knew what time it was. And I said, dude, it wasn't even that good. Like, what is it? He goes, you're a moron. That's not what it is. And he explained what it really was. And I'm like, ooh, that does sound better, yes. Like, now I understand why my uncle spends so much time at the women's shelters. And then we did it the real way. But I told her what it really was, and she's like, ew, gross, I'm never doing that. But she did do it once I bought her tickets to the Madonna concert. And I've been broke ever since. What I'm saying is stay in school. Okay. That's enough for me. Thanks.